All right, today we're talking about something called the digital sunset ritual. And trust me, it's a beautifully simple, science-backed idea that's all about one thing, helping you reclaim your evenings from your screens so you can wake up with, that peak energy we're all after. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about a problem that I think we're all a little too familiar with in this, always on world. It's that classic struggle that starts when your head hits the pillow, but it definitely doesn't end there. It follows you right into the next day. So, does this sound familiar? You're completely exhausted, right? Your body is screaming for sleep. But your brain, oh, your brain is wide awake, just buzzing. And there you are, lying in the dark with that glow from your phone lighting up your face, just endlessly scrolling. We've all been there. And that whole cycle, staying up way too late glued to a screen, it leads to a pretty predictable result, doesn't it? You wake up the next morning feeling foggy, groggy, just not refreshed at all. And man, it is such a frustrating loop to be stuck in. So, what is actually going on here? Well, it turns out there's kind of a hidden villain in this whole story, and its name is blue light. Let's dig into the actual biology that makes it so darn hard to just put the phone down. And listen, this is a really important point. If you struggle with this, it is not a lack of willpower. It's not some personal failing. It's biology. Your brain is just having a totally natural reaction. The two main things we need to talk about are the blue light from your screens and a hormone you've probably heard of called melatonin. So, what's melatonin? Well, just think of it as your brain's natural go-to-sleep signal. It's super simple. When it gets dark outside, your brain starts releasing it, and that's what tells your body, hey, it's time to wind down, time to get ready for bed. It's basically the starting pistol for a good night's sleep. Okay, and right here, this is the heart of the problem. Without that blue light, things work like they're supposed to. Your brain releases melatonin, you start to get sleepy, but when you stare at a screen, that blue light actively hits the brakes on melatonin production. It suppresses it, so your brain gets this message that it's still daytime, and it stays on, alert, awake, even if your body is just completely wiped out. So, if the problem is biological, it makes sense that the solution has to be biological too, right? And that is exactly where this really elegant and honestly powerful idea comes into play. It's called the digital sunset ritual. And what is it? I mean, the concept itself couldn't be simpler. A digital sunset is just the simple, intentional act of turning off all your screens. We're talking phone, tablet, laptop, TV, the whole shebang, for a little while before you go to bed. So how long are we talking? Well, the sweet spot is just 30 to 60 minutes. That's it. It's just long enough to send that signal to your brain that, hey, the day is over, but it's short enough that it feels like a totally doable habit, It's really the perfect amount of time to let your natural melatonin production start doing its thing again. All right, I know what you're thinking. That sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Well, it really just comes down to a super simple 3-step habit. Okay, step 1, pick your time and set an alarm. But this one's not for waking up, it's for winding down. So 30 to 60 minutes before you want to be asleep, that alarm goes off. Step 2, when you hear it, that's your cue. You power down all the screens. And yeah, I mean all of them, no exceptions. And then step 3, and this part is so important, replace the scroll. Swap that super stimulating activity with something genuinely relaxing. Maybe you read an actual physical book, or you could write down a few thoughts in a journal. Even some light stretching works perfect. See, the whole point here isn't just to slam on the brakes and shut everything off. It's about creating a gentle transition. I love this phrase. The ritual allows your brain to land softly into sleep instead of, just crash landing. And that gentle descent is what really sets you up for deeper, more restorative sleep all night long. So what do you get from making this little tweak to your evening routine? What's the big payoff? Well, the benefits go way beyond just feeling less tired. It's really about being able to perform at your absolute best. Because when you let your brain land softly, you get much deeper recovery while you're asleep. And that deeper recovery, that's the fuel. That's the engine for having peak energy the next day. The two are totally connected. A better evening literally creates a more powerful morning. And here's how you have to think about it. This is the big reframe. You're not losing 30 minutes of screen time. You're trading 30 minutes of pretty mindless, low-quality scrolling for hours and hours of high-quality energy for your actual life the next day. It's a strategic investment, plain and simple. So that really just leaves us with one final question. It's not a question of if you should try this, but how are you going to use that time? Are you going to finally pick up that book that's been sitting on your nightstand? We connect with a hobby you've let slide?
or maybe just enjoy a few minutes of actual, uninterrupted quiet. So, what will you do with your first digital sunset?